हाय फ्रेंड्स, होप यू आर डूइंग वेल। रीअसेसमेंट की प्रोसीडिंग्स में रोज नए नए ट्विस्ट और टर्न आ रहा है। ऐसा ही एक हैप्पी वाला ट्विस्ट आया है फ्रॉम तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट टू टैक्स पेयर्स। जो आप स्क्रीन पे देख रहे हैं वो सारे रिट पिटिशंस को तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट ने एक कॉमन ऑर्डर के जरिए डिस्पोज किया है और एसएससी की फेवर में जजमेंट दिया है रेवेन्यू के अगेंस्ट में देके। तो देखते हैं इस वीडियो में कि इसमें केस क्या है और हाई कोर्ट ने कौन कौन से बेसिस को इसमें एम्फेसिस करके जजमेंट डिलीवर किया है। लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। Now see let's facts of the case. This batch of writ petitions have been filed asserting the order passed by the respondent number, that is income tax officer, dated 29 July 2022. White did and notice number so and so for the assessment year 16-17 under section 148 AD. The challenge is also to consequential notice dated 29 July 22 under section 148 as well issued by the respondent. So basically पोस्ट आशीष अग्रवाल जो 148 AD का ऑर्डर और 148 की नोटिस एसएससी को इश्यूज हुई थी, उनको ये रिट पिटिशन के द्वारा चैलेंज किया गया है तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट में। अब देखते हैं कि जो पिटिशनर्स है टैक्स पेयर्स, उनका मेन ऑब्जेक्शन क्या है। The preliminary objection raised by the petitioner, which is being considered as the foremost issue, whether impugn order under section 148 AD as well as notice under 148 could be issued by the local jurisdiction officer, that is JAO, rather than the faceless assessment. The issue, in other words, was whether was it not mandatory for the authorities concerned to initiate proceedings pertaining to the reassessment under section 148A and 148 in a faceless manner rather than being proceeded by the local jurisdiction officer as envisaged under section 144B and 151A of the Act. Learned Civil Counsel appearing for the petitioner states hard on the fact that subsequent to the amendment incorporated in the Income Tax Act with effect from 29 March 2022, इस डेट का सीबीडीटी का एक सर्कुलर नोटिफिकेशन है। All the proceedings initiated by the authorities concerned under 148A and 148 were all mandatorily to be proceeded in a faceless manner, as same would amount to being violative of the Income Tax Act and in contravention to the procedure prescribed under law which is in force. So basically 1/4/2021 के द्वारा जो न्यू रीअसेसमेंट की न्यू रिजिम इंट्रोड्यूस हुई है वो फेसलेस मैनर में एनएफएससी के द्वारा यानी नेशनल फेसलेस असेसमेंट सेंटर के द्वारा कंडक्ट करनी चाहिए, ना कि लोकल जुरिडिक्शन ईओ के द्वारा। सो जो पोस्ट आशीष अग्रवाल 148 AD का ऑर्डर 148 की नोटिस जो लोकल जाओ से इशू हुई है वो नल एंड वर्ड है। दैट इज द बेसिक प्रीमाइस ऑफ दिस केस। Now let's see ultimately what court held. Having heard the contention put forth on the other side on the perusal of records, what is now required to be considered is the factual matrix of the case. Admittedly, the notices were issued under 148 between April 2021 to June 2021 for the reopening of the assessment for EY 13-14 and subsequent years. Initially, these reopening assessments were subjected to the challenge before various high courts, and many of the high courts had quashed the notices in light of the subsequent amendment that had been brought by the Income Tax Act by the insertion of the new section 148A. The decision of the High Court, which had allowed the reputations of various other assessees, was subjected to the challenge before the Honorable Supreme Court, where the Honorable Supreme Court had tacked up all the cases and matters and passed the landmark decision in case of Union of India versus आशीष अग्रवाल। मतलब जो 148 ए की न्यू रिजिम आई थी उसके बाद जो ये नोटिस इस पीरियड में इशू हुई थी, इसमें जो हाई कोर्ट्स ने एसएससी की रिट पिटिशन को अलाउ किया था उसको रेवेन्यू ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चैलेंज किया था, और उसके बाद आशीष अग्रवाल का जो लैंडमार्क डिसीजन है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रेंडर किया। The Honorable Supreme Court, after considering the legal contention raised at the bar at para number 7, held that Finance Act 21, being a remedial and benevolent nature and having been substituted with a specific aim and object, more particularly to protect the rights and interests of the assessee, and the same being in public interest, held that they were in complete agreement with the view taken by the various high courts while holding that the benefit of the new provision shall be made available even in respect of proceedings relating to the past assessment year where notices have been issued between this period become enforceable. However, while upholding the judgments of the High Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, taking into consideration of the fact that Income Tax Department had issued approximately 90,000 notices under Section 148 of an unamended Act and all other cases, the department would become remediless so far as reassessment proceedings are concerned. Therefore, as a one-time measure invoking the powers conferred under Section 148 of the Constitution of India, Honorable Supreme Court ordered that the notices under Section 148 which were issued by the department should be considered to have been issued under 148A of the Act. New provision inserted by way of Finance Act 21 permitted department to proceed further with reassessment proceedings as per substituted with the 147 to 158 as per Finance Act 21. मतलब सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो हाई कोर्ट्स के ऑर्डर थे उनको एग्री किया था, बट जो 90,000 नोटिस है वो रिडंडेंट हो जाती अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट कह देती कि ये अनअमेंडेड प्रोविजन के द्वारा डिपार्टमेंट की गलती है और ये 90,000 नोटिस इश्यू नहीं होनी चाहिए थी। तो रेवेन्यू का लॉस को बचाने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये रेमेडी दी कि ये सारी नोटिस कन्वर्ट कर दो, बट जो प्रोसीजर है वो जो एप्लीकेबल लॉ है वो 1/4/2021 का ही लॉ लगेगा, उसमें जो प्रोसीजर है उसको ही फॉलो करके ये सारी रीअसेसमेंट प्रोसीडिंग्स है वो चलेगी। दैट वाज व्हाट सुप्रीम कोर्ट हेल्ड इन आशीष अग्रवाल। सो फ्रेंड्स, यहाँ सबसे पहले तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट ने जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का स्टैंड था आशीष अग्रवाल उसको क्लियर किया कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट वाज आल्सो एग्रीड विद द हाई कोर्ट्स कि जो नोटिस इशू हुई है वो गलत है, बट फिर 90,000 नोटिस रेमेडीलेस बन जाते, रेवेन्यू का बहुत ही बड़ा रेवेन्यू लॉस होता। इसलिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो वन टाइम रेमेडी प्रोवाइड की है अंडर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अंडर सेक्शन 142 उसका उपयोग करते हुए ये सारी नोटिस को कन्वर्ट कर दिया एप्लीकेबल टू न्यू रिजिम। उसके बाद तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट ने फिर जो फेसलेस रिजिम है उसकी यहाँ डिस्कशन किया है। Keeping the aforesaid view of the Honorable Supreme Court, it would be relevant at this juncture to take note certain provisions of the Income Tax Act which stood amended with effect from 1/4/2021 by virtue of Finance Act 21. Section 144B, that is faceless, inserted by the virtue of the Finance Act, provides for the faceless assessment, and subsection 1 newly inserted 144B is non-obstant clause. Non-obstant मतलब वो override होगा सारी जो प्रोविजंस है बाकी की उस पर। द रिलेवेंट पोर्शन ऑफ द सबसेक्शन 1 necessary for the adjudication of the preliminary issue is reproduced herein as under. Notwithstanding anything contained to the contrary contained in any other provisions of the Act, assessment, reassessment or recomputation under subsection 3 of section 143, under section 144 or 147 as case may be, with respect to case referred in subsection 2 shall be made in a faceless manner as per the following procedure. मतलब 1/4/2021 से कोई भी असेसमेंट या रीअसेसमेंट की प्रोसीडिंग नेशनल फेसलेस असेसमेंट सेंटर के द्वारा फेसलेस मैनर में होगी। Next, in continuation of the aforesaid provisions, it would be relevant to take note of the yet another provision of the law, that is subsection 1 of the section 151A, which was inserted with effect from 1st November 2020. It refers to a faceless assessment of the income escaping assessment, which would be relevant to better understanding of the issue being decided in the present batch of writ petitions, which again for the ready reference is being reproduced as under. In furtherance to power conferred under subsection 1 and 2 of the 130 of the aforesaid Income Tax Act, the CBDT framed a scheme called Faceless Jurisdiction of the Income Tax Authority Scheme 22. A plain reading of the aforesaid notification would clearly reflect that, as has been amended under section 30, CBDT has framed a scheme which defines to act to the Income Tax Act and specifically defines automated allocation, which is being defined under section 2(1)(b), which again for the ready reference is being reproduced as under. A plain reading of the aforesaid two notifications issued by the CBDT dated 28th March 22 and 29 March 22, it would clearly indicate that CBDT was very clear in its mind when it framed the aforesaid two schemes with respect to proceedings to be drawn under Section 148A, that is, it has to in a faceless manner. There were two mandatory conditions which were required to be adhered by the department. Firstly, the allocation being made through the automated allocation system in accordance with the risk management strategy formulated by the board. And secondly, reassessment to be done in a faceless manner to the extent provided in Section 144B of the Act. So after the introduction of the above two schemes, it becomes mandatory for the revenue to conduct initiate proceedings pertaining to reassessment under Section 147, 148A and 148 in a faceless manner. Proceedings under 147 and 148 of the Act would now have to be taken as per the procedure legislated by the Parliament in respect of reopening proceeding under Section 148A of the Act. मतलब तेलंगाना हाईकोर्ट ने यहाँ वेरी क्लियरली बोला कि 1/4/2021 के बाद रीअसेसमेंट जो प्रोसीडिंग्स है वो फेसलेस मैनर में होगी. जो ऑटोमेटेड सिस्टम अलोकेशन है डिपार्टमेंट की उसके बेसिस पर पहले केस अलॉट होगा, फिर 148A की प्रोसीजर होगी और ये सारी फेसलेस मैनर में होगी. जुरिडिक्शन योग के पास कोई राइट नहीं है. So in the present case, both the proceedings, that is impugned proceeding under Section 148 and consequential notices under 148 were issued by the local jurisdiction officer and not in the manner prescribed faceless manner. The order under Section 148 AD and the notices under Section 148 are issued on 29th April 2022, that is after the faceless jurisdiction of the income tax authority scheme and e-assessment of the income tax faceless assessment scheme were introduced. From the aforesaid given factual matrix, firstly the statutory provisions enumerated in the proceedings paragraphs, and secondly the subsequent direction given by the Honorable Supreme Court in case of Ashish Agrawal, which is clearly reflected that when the Honorable Supreme Court had partly allowed the petitions which were filed by the Union of India challenging the judgments of the various high courts, whereby notices under Section 148 unamended were set aside by the high courts, the Honorable Supreme Court has only permitted the Union of India to proceed further with the reassessment proceedings under amended provision of the law, more particularly as amended by the Finance Act 21. It never intended the authorities concerned to continue with the proceedings from the stage of issuance of the notices under Section 148, nor it is direction of the effort, and there cannot be any confusion, ambiguity and misconception for the respondent department to have in this regard. So here Telangana High Court once again cleared out the ratio decided by the Honorable Supreme Court in case of Ashish Agrawal कि वो जो वन टाइम रेमेडी दी थी उसको जो अमेंडेड प्रोविजन थी 1/4/2021 और उसकी जो ले डाउन प्रोसीजर है उसके तहत ही स्ट्रिक्टली डिपार्टमेंट को फॉलो कर रही थी, जो इस केस में फॉलो नहीं हुई है. फिर यहाँ तीसरा पॉइंट है कि इम्पोर्टेंट प्रिंसिपल है उसको यहाँ रीएस्टेब्लिश किया है तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट ने. It is well settled principle of the law where the power is given to do certain things in a certain way. The thing has to be done in that way alone, in no any other manner which is otherwise not provided under law. The Honorable Supreme Court in case of Chandrakishore Jha versus Mahavir and others in para 17 laying down the opposite principle held as under. It is well settled solitary principle that if statute provides for a thing to do in a particular manner, then it has to be done in that manner and in no other manner. The said principle of law was further reiterated in certain proceedings. What is also relevant to take note of the fact that Honorable Supreme Court, while exercising power under Article 142 of Constitution, has also not relaxed the applicability of the Finance Act 21. Rather, Honorable Supreme Court in its very clear and unambiguous terms had held that notices issued under unamended provisions which were struck down by the High Court shall be treated as a notice under new amended provisions, and the Union of India was directed to proceed further from that stage in terms of the amended provision of the law. In spite of such specific clear direction by the Honorable Supreme Court, Union of India, that is Income Tax Department, for reasons based to known against, proceeded with the procedure as it stood prior to the amended provision which came into force from 1st April 2021. यहाँ रेवेन्यू को अच्छी से खासी डांट मिली है हाई कोर्ट से कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्लियरली बोला था कि जो अमेंडेड प्रोविजन है उसके तहत ही उनको प्रोसीड करना है, फिर भी वो बैक टू द पास्ट में जाके जो पहले वाली प्रोविजन थी उसके बेसिस पे नोटिस इशू करने लगे थे। So in view of the aforesaid discussions, it is now very clear that the procedure to be followed by the respondent department upon treating the notices issued for the reassessment being under section 148A, the subsequent proceedings was mandatorily required to be undertaken, substituted provision laid down by the Finance Act 2021, in absence of which we are constrained to hold that the procedure adopted by the department is in contravention to the Statute Finance Act 21 at first, and instance secondly it is also in direct contradiction to directives issued by this honorable Supreme Court in case of Ashish Agrawal Supra. So for all the aforesaid reasons, the impugned notice is issued and the proceedings drawn by the respondent department is neither tenable nor sustainable. The notice is so issued and the procedure adopted being per se illegal deserves to be and are accordingly set aside, quashed. As a consequence, all the impugned orders getting quashed, the consequential order passed by the respondent department pursuant to the notices issued under section 147 and 148 would also get quashed and it is ordered accordingly. The reason we are quashing the consequential order is on the principle that when the initiation of proceeding itself was procedurally wrong, the subsequent orders also gets nullified automatically. मतलब यहाँ ना ही तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट ने एक स्टेप आगे जाके जो 148 की नोटिस थी उसको भी क्वेश्चन कर दिया और नोटिस के बेस पे जो रीअसेसमेंट के ऑर्डर्स हुए होंगे उसको भी क्वेश्चन कर दिया। The preliminary objection raised by the petitioner is sustained and all the writ petition stands allow on this very jurisdictional issue. Since the impugned notices and orders getting quashed on the point of jurisdiction, we are not inclined to proceed further and decide other issues raised by the petitioner, which stands reserved to be raised and contained in an appropriate proceedings. So that was all. So this was very interesting decision और इसमें पहली बार किसी हाई कोर्ट ने जो आशीष अग्रवाल का डिसीजन था उसका जो रेशियो है वो बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का क्या स्टैंड था कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्लियरली बोला था कि जो 1/4/2021 के बाद मतलब जो न्यू रिजिम को फॉलो करते हुए डिपार्टमेंट को प्रोसीड करना है और जो न्यू रिजिम में फेसलेस मैनर है, जाओ के पास राइट नहीं है तो एनएफएससी ही प्रोसीड्स करेगी। बस सब केस में जाओ ने ही नोटिस इशू की थी। सो ये सारी रिट पिटिशंस को अलाउ करके तेलंगाना हाई कोर्ट ने एक बहुत ही अच्छा ये डिसीजन डिलीवर किया है। सो आई होप ये वीडियो आपको पसंद आई होगी। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग माई वीडियो। हैव अ गुड डे।